I was just about to say today's subject is what we're going to talk about today is hoops. Now, I've talked about hoops before. I've made a video on magnetic hoops. I will touch on that, and a video on the maxi hoop. My dog's just come in. The maxi hoop. Do you have a look at him? He's grown now. If you can, Jasper, come forward. Come on, come forward. Can you see? I don't know if you... yeah, so I'm going to talk about the other hoops, and especially the free arm hoop, because I've had quite a few questions on the free arm hoop, especially the video that I did just on that, and other people have asked questions about other different things. So I'm going to talk about also your table that comes with, and your mark, I call them markers, you know, it's your seam guide really, that comes with it, which is in my case the 790 Pro, but it will come with a 790 Plus as well. I'm not sure if the seam guide comes with the other machines lower than that. I'm sure you'll know whether they have. If you've got one, you've got one. So we're going to talk about that, maybe a few other things. So I'm Gwendolyn from Lifestyle Sew. So please give me a thumbs up and subscribe, because it doesn't cost you anything, but it means the world to me. And ask questions, because if you ask questions, then I can answer them. And then hopefully I can maybe do a video later on and incorporate some of those questions into that. So just so you know. Right, so let's begin. We won't begin with that hoop. Which hoop we're going to begin with? We're going to begin with this hoop, which is the medium clamp hoop. Now, a medium clamp hoop is actually, I don't know whether I've called it a medium or not. I guess I guess it is naturally a medium hoop, and the next size up is the large hoop. But when it comes to all the other hoops, a medium is like really tiny. So who designs it, who thinks of that? It should be all the same. If you're going to do a small hoop and you're calling it a medium, when you do any type of hoop that you move up from that, it should be, the sizing should be roughly the same, so you can know what you're doing. But it's not. It's not. This is Bernina. It's just not. It's not cohesive as the hoops go through. So sometimes that can be confusing. Definitely for newbies, that can be confusing. So you get two parts. You get your, again, which I call the marker. Let me take it out. It's your hard copy. Your hard placement really. It's like brand new. I used it once. I used it once. I will use it again. And this is obviously the hoop. Head size, picture size. And you get the clamps. So nothing new. You know all about this. You've seen it advertised and all the rest of it. So if you haven't got one, that's what you need to know. The information that I'm going to give you now, it might give you an idea whether you want to buy one or not. Now these, when you've got your fabric in, if you just quilt and it's very thin fabric, it's very thin, thin stabilizer, then yes, it'll go in the hoop, and when you clip on these, it's not too bad. But if your stabilizer is a bit thicker, if you want to use something a bit more substantial, or not even a stabilizer, maybe you want to use a quilting wad or something like that, then it's a lot harder to clip these on, and you really do have to press down. And people who have followed me know I've got arthritis in my hands, so I'm not too keen on you don't know until you try something. You don't know until you're working with something whether it's going to suit you or not. That's why people start swapping or selling bits that they it's not working for them. There's nothing wrong with the product, but it's just not working for them. So I think that is really quite a fair assessment of this hoop. Now, all the clip-on hoops will be the same, whether it's large or big. Remember how embroidery works, though, because it's okay, all these singing and dancing, and you get all these different hoops, but the smaller the embroidery, if you're doing a little tiny embroidery, for goodness sake, don't put a medium hoop or you need to put the tiny hoop on. You need to, because it needs to be taut. It needs to, if you want the exact results, you put the right hoop on. So the bigger the embroidery, the bigger the hoop, or the bigger the design that you want to do, the bigger the hoop. So you do need some, you don't need too much space around that design. Maybe, you know, an inch, 2 inches maximum all the way around that design. Yes, you are. If you're going to have a design, say it's in a triangle, you're going to have more than 2 inches here. But fundamentally, the corners or whatever it is where the taut's going to be. And that's really what you're trying to aim for. I mean, some people like me don't follow the rules. And sometimes if I'm making something and it's got multiple things that are all embroidered the same, and then all you do is either cut them up or they're already being stitched out like that, then I will use a bigger hoop and then put multiple, and that's fine because it's the same principle. If you do multiple things, you will have a bigger hoop and you can put lots and lots of things in it. You just have to make sure you've got enough space. If you put it into a block or on something, you might want to, you actually might want to create a piece of embroidery, but more like a badge. So you're just gonna stitch it out, and then you afterwards you'll cut it out into a shape, and you might want to turn it over and stitch it on like that, because you might be frightened of damaging your fabric. You might be frightened of it not being right, or it gets really puckers and things. So some people do that, but it's not as nice. Obviously, it's not designed to do that, these hoops. It is designed that your piece of fabric that goes down and you embroider and you straight onto the thing. If I was doing a jacket, I'd do a long piece, I'd embroider, and I would cut my pattern out afterwards. But that is just me. So you could cut a piece of pattern out and then you could try and embroider there. I want, you know, it's horses and courses. You can try all different things to get that perfect embroidery. Now, I, hand on heart, have not really had much trouble with embroidery at all. And I know lots and lots of people do. I think it's, maybe I watched a lot of videos before I actually started to do it, because I didn't do it for the first year I had the machine. I was, like a lot of people, a little bit frightened of it. And it's ridiculous, if you've got a machine, not to give it a go, because it's so simple. It really is so simple, and it is addictive. So, you know, once you start on a little project. I think one of my first projects was doing a cover for her book. My niece had embroidery on the front of the cover, and then put it in, made it into, put a textbook inside, things like that. It turned out really quite nice. But yeah, so this is for, so would I get one of these? I think for most people it would be perfectly fine, absolutely perfectly fine to work and use, no problem at all. You will get, you've got loads of clamps to put round, well, all the way around it. I have not found I need all of the clamps round. I need a couple on either side, works fine. But I think you've got three that fits on either side. For me, it's a little overkill, depending on what's the project you're using. If you're using very fine fabric, and that's what it's all about, embroidery. There's not one complete. Somebody can't completely tell you exactly how you're gonna do it, that it's going to work perfectly for you, because they can't see your material, and it all boils down to your material. So if somebody was coming around showing you, it would be different. but on a video, you've got to take things with a bit of pinch of salt. Just figure your way around, and this is just a guide, okay, just a guide. So let's pop this back. I always keep things in its box, to be honest. Well, at the other place, I said that wrong. I don't always keep them in the box. I keep the boxes. The only moment I haven't got sorted out to hang them up on the wall, but I will be hanging them up on the wall. And yeah, so I will be hanging them up on the wall, and then I keep the boxes just in case I do want to flog it. I do want to sell it and let somebody else have it. If I feel, oh, I'm never going to use that, it's just sitting there. Well, somebody else might use it, and I might as well have the dosh, as we say here, the cash. Right, okay, so let me just, the hardest part about these hoops is getting them in the box again. Right, so then you have seen this, the maxi hoop. The maxi hoop is one of my most favourite hoops, and I use it loads. I mean, loads. And there's a very good reason for it, because I do, normally if I embroider, I do bigger designs. It's like I will make, I made in the hoop teapot cover, and with a teapot on it. Do you know what? I've got that downstairs. I'm going to show you that. This is what normally I make. These little tiny things. So it's done in half. It's sewn down the middle, but you can't, and it's sewn down the back. But it's done on the actual machine, step by step, one step embroidery. I love all of this sort of stuff. It's very easy. You can make this plain and do what you want. You really, it's up to you. Now, this is not puffy. This is lined inside with a heat-proof silver fabric, a proper stuff. They call it something or other. I think I've got some of it still left. And that means that when the teapot goes in, it's actually, it keeps its heat hotter than it was if it was really puffy and had, you know, a padding, a big thick padding inside, although those paddings do work fine. Yeah, and I really like it. I'd like to make a plain one as well, and you can make smaller ones, different sizes. Now, I can't remember where I got the pattern from off the top of my head here, but I will look for it and I will put a link down for this. But this is, it's plain on the back. It really is an easy peasy pattern to do. It really is that simple to actually do. And it's great for giving Christmas presents or selling on your market if you do loads at a time. It's quite, you can use all your scraps up doing it, and that's the best thing, isn't it? Using your scraps up. So it's a win-win. I like all of those sort of things. And that's the sort of thing that I embroider most of the time. When I thought I was going to embroider, things down my shirts and all. I haven't got around to doing that yet. Yeah, haven't done that yet. So that's that. So this is the, don't ever lose these things. They are vital sometimes when you're obviously doing embroidery. Right. The ratchet is the best. This is called a ratchet. The ratchet is the best thing Bernina ever made on my embroidery hoops. It's so super simple. The maxi hoop is amazing. I would love this in a bigger size, or the great big giant hoop that they've got for the, what is it, the 990. But you can't fit a 990 on here, a hoop for the 990 on here. So it doesn't matter anyway, because if I was to put the jumbo hoop on to my machine, it would work perfectly, but on the actual screen you would see half of it missed off. Although it's actually, the design isn't missed off, it's just that it's almost like this, and then you get a section missed off and you think, oh, that's going to miss this bit out on the embroidery, but it doesn't, because it's actually this, but it cuts a bit off. And on a Bernina and a 790 plus, there's a maximum. The maxi hoop is the maximum size inside this hoop you can actually stitch out. Now I believe the large magnetic hoop that Bernina have brought out is the same size hoop, but its only difference, it's square, so you get the square corners. So you get a little bit extra to play with, because it's the same scenario, so you get a little bit extra to play with. And it is made for, obviously, your 790 Pro down, but as where the jumbo hoop was originally made for your 880. But you can use it on the 790. So that's, you know, one of those things. But favourite hoop. And that, what are those hoops? I can't remember. They 350 those hoops, or is it 450? 4 something or other. I think those hoops are now. Now we come to, which I also think this is a staple that people should have in their thing. It's a free arm. So it's that way around. So it's a large free arm. So it has a ratchet, which is amazing. And it's got obviously this. So it looks the same, or very much the same as the other hoops that you get in your package with Bernina. As where you get the little knob that you twizzle around. Well, this is much better. Now, this is in England, 2026, 350 to buy. But saying that, you can buy an arm, a free arm. What did they call it? Bernina adapter for free arm embroidery for the medium and oval hoops. Now, what you get in your package is a medium and oval hoop, and you get a tiny hoop. It doesn't mention the tiny hoop that you get, but it apparently will work on it. Get a small, medium, and large. Small, medium, and large. I don't know. What have I just said? What's in it? Small, medium, large embroidery hoops with templates. Yeah. They're calling the oval. This is Bernina for you. So it's small, medium, and large that you get in your package when you buy the 790 Pro or Plus, and I'm sure the other machines. But because they are actually marketing this free arm, it's not called an oval. It's called a free arm. So it looks like you're buying something different. But you're not. You're buying the same size as you're buying for as the oval, which is large. Yeah. So when you have it, it's small, medium, and large embroidery hoops. But when it's advertised, it's small, medium, and oval. It works on a small, medium, and oval. Now the adapter is £150. So there's no need to buy this hoop if you're not going to use it loads of times, or if you haven't got any arthritis or something like that, because you've got an adapter that went to the machine and does exactly the same job. And the job is, if you're stitching a bag on normal embroidery, you can't put it over your arm and stitch just one layer. You have to stitch both layers. Well, obviously you're not going to do that because you can't open your bag. So this is what this does. It separates the layers. So one layer gets stitched and the other layer, it makes it go underneath. So So therefore it's not connected to the stitches, and so you can do all sorts of things. It's not just about, nothing to do with Bernina at all. This is dime. But when these came out, everybody was getting them, and I got caught up in the hype, and I bought the big one for my quilt. Well, it didn't really, remember what I said at the beginning, tautness for your embroidery is quite important. So it didn't work that well for me because I couldn't get it tight enough to do that. That's not the game. You shouldn't be having to put different bits and pieces in it to get it tight enough. It should be that you should just be able to just pull it a little bit or do something, put the hoop down and bang, tighten it up, and it then creates the taut on it, so like a drum, so the stitches can stitch out. So, but I think the smaller magnetic hoops, I think, work obviously a lot better because they're smaller. You can get more tension on it, and it's horses for courses. It's not that there's anything wrong with that. It isn't. But if you buy one and you put it on your machine and it's not Bernina, remember, it will only stitch out to the maxi hoop size. So it doesn't matter how big that is. It makes no difference how big that is. It'll only stitch out to the maxi hoop. But I guess what it does is, if you're using it for a quilt, you've got more space to push it along and see what you're doing, instead of being in a smaller space. So that's up to you. I have got a video on that too. But you know, that's, like I say, that's up to you whether you want to go down that road. Now, the other thing I really want to speak to you about, let me put these away or I lose them. The other thing I want to speak to you about is what is it? Oh, it's your table. And people forget to use this table because we're all into getting units, but to be honest, it's a unit that you buy, a table that's all like this, it is actually quite expensive. And I just was retired. I had the money at the time to buy it, but that is not necessary at all. But a table is, and the Bernina table's got all the markings on it that you go like that. Hello, darling. Right, so this table, now with it comes a seam marker. And very few people use this seam marker. And I don't know why you don't use it. Because if you've got a table and you are using it, it just literally, look, it goes along, you just literally press the button. So you're releasing at the back these little, it goes up slightly. Those hooks go up slightly. So you still need to press it. So you just put that on, press it, and then push it and click it, and that's going to go nowhere, absolutely nowhere. So if you're doing lots of curtains or something like that, there's a long guide that you can put against it, and because you've got all these measurements, you can do all sorts of marking it out and have an accurate sewing with your quilting and all the rest of it. So, and it's easy, you just move it along, look, just press and move it along. So you don't even have to take it off. I think it's, although it's very simple idea, it really is a good idea because you get lots of space on it. So, yep, I'm very advocate at that. Now, the other thing is, what did I get a video on? And on the on Facebook and that, because I'm on those sites on Facebook's Bernina sewing sites. There's often about your when you turn your machine on, you get this horrendous noise. And anybody who knows Bernina, the horrendous noise is your bobbin winder. It's just on, and you just have to turn it off. Now, I have bought so I don't have that problem. If you can just see there, it's Bernina Jeff. I got those. Actually, it says, oh, 3D.com. Okay. I just put that on, and I keep it on all the time. I've got one for the knobs, so I don't knock the knobs because I'm very clumsy. And I just keep it on there and just take it off when I need it. You know, it just come off when I need it. They are a good little buy. They are very good little buy, especially on expensive machines. Now I do need your help. I can't remember what this is for, and I don't even know if it's for the machine. There's two things actually. So one is this. It's from something. It's not, I don't know. Is it from my chair, or when we packed, it got loose? I don't know what it's from. It's just one spindle, and it goes on either end. So we've got that. And then we've got this. I can't, for the life of me, think what this is. It's a screw on one end, a bolt. It's like a bolt that goes through, and a bolt here. And it moves on the spindle. So I just found it in my drawer. I mean, it may be nothing to do with the sewing machine, but, or something. I don't know what it could be to do with. I really don't know. But I have got my computer all up and running now, so that took a little while. It's not, you know, ideal. I can't use it sitting down, so I'm going to have to measure to see and push the table. Oh, I'm talking. You can't even see what I'm talking about. Look. See? I'm going to have to push the table up to the wall and then see if I've got enough space there to put a computer table in. If I can just get it that it's... I used to have one, a glass one, that would have fitted in there perfect. But I got rid of it years ago. So I just need to scoot that up, and then I can get a chair in to be able to sit down and work that computer. Otherwise, everything's off my laptop. And yes, I had to get another Kylex. And it is all a bit of a mess. Well, it looks a mess, but it's not actually. It's an organised mess. I know where everything is. The materials are up where my dolly is. My dad bought me that when I was a little girl. And quilting books. And then the other one closest to us is all my IOD stuff, painting stuff, glues and card making stuff, and all of that. And because I do like to do that every now and again. And yeah, the wardrobe's the wardrobe over there. Well, I've got the wardrobe there, but that is another bit of a wardrobe, I guess, up there. Because in the other room there's just one little small wardrobe, and unfortunately I've got more clothes than I have got anything else, and that box is for the hoops. So you to pick us up on things. Why I didn't mark out my embroidery when I was doing it, you know, when you mark out your embroidery where the design's going to go. Now I have brilliant eye coordination with things, so I can catch a ball. If it was thrown to me, I could just catch it out the air, because I could, you know, I'm really good at doing that. Not that you need to catch a ball doing something. But when it comes to placement, I can actually gauge the centre of something and work out the side. And then obviously you've got pinpoint placement on your embroidery machine. So it's easy for me to actually mark it up. But there is occasions where I would mark it up. I would mark it up on a quilt. Definitely. Otherwise, it would be very difficult to keep a straight line. So I would mark up on a quilt if I was doing that. And something if it was really, really important, because most things I do are not really, really important. It's like kids things. Well, yeah, if it's a couple of millimeters out, it doesn't really make any difference. Nobody's gonna bother about if they've got a big owl on the chest and it's a little over. They won't notice it because they're not looking for it. And kids just play all the time and that. But if I was making something, say, for myself, then I definitely would mark it out. But most of the time, I really don't need to do that. So that's one thing, and I hope that's answered that question, although I do always answer all questions that come to me. I think it's rude not to do that. I think if you, and I wish other YouTubers would do that, but they say, oh, I've got millions and millions of viewers, but the thing is not everybody watches the videos at the same time. So only a handful of people might watch that video. I mean, I've got a video on how to print a quilt label, and there's 20-odd thousand people watched it because it went viral. Because it's just, you know, you literally go to your computer and there's a process of what you have to do, obviously. So watch the video if you can, and it prints out what you want. So you can print it out in any language, in any text, in any colour, and like I say, there's a process that you have to follow, so it stays on. But it's all very, very super simple. And then somebody, when the video went out, said, well, what's the point of that if you've got a machine like ours? We've got quilting machines, it works fine. But sometimes you don't want to go and do all of the quilting, the embroidery rather. You don't want to do all the embroidery. Or two, you haven't got an embroidery machine. You've got an ordinary machine, because I did it for an ordinary machine for years and years and years. And I've still got, I've washed them, and I've still got the quilts with lovely, really nice labels in beautiful handwriting, because I'm not doing it. The computer's doing it. And yeah, so that's it for today. So I do hope it's been okay. And let me know if it's not to your satisfaction, as well as, you know, you can complain, you can, people have pointed things out before, and I've adjusted things, or thank you for picking that up, and that. We're all in this together. So all I'm doing is passing on knowledge that I know, and I know a lot of knowledge, and I know a lot of knowledge on this machine too, because my dad used to be into machines, so I got that ability to be able to tinker around. Don't be frightened of your machine. Really don't be frightened of your machine. There's very few things that actually, if it's going to go wrong, then it's probably not your fault anyway. So just think of it as a computer. So anyway, take care. Speak to you soon. Bye.